Hello and welcome along to the mod roundup for the 3rd of February 2020. We've got 5 mods released today. So we've got 4 mods here, 4 vehicle and equipment mods and 1 map, which is the map we're currently on. So released today, we've got the John Deere 7R US series, the Amazon D930, the Deutz SWAT Master 3521, and finally over here we have the Major Holland Fred 2-3, and then the map we're currently looking at these on. This is, and I know I'm going to pronounce this wrong, Sandomierski Okilis, I believe is how that's pronounced. Yeah, 3 PC and console mods, 2 just PC mods. So the John Deere tractor, the 7R US series, that's available on console and PC, as is the Deutz as well, and the Amazon. Those 3 there are all available on console and PC, whereas our Bale Spike here, this is only available on PC, and as is the map. The map is a PC only map. So let's take a look at these, shall we? We will start with this one, which is the John Deere 7R US series. If we pop into the shop, we will find this under large tractors. Right at the end here, 283,000 for this, 269 horsepower as standard, 675 litres in its fuel tank, 31 mile per hour top speed, and if we pop in here, we can see we've got quite a bit of configuration options. So as I said, 238,000 is your default price. Front configurations, you have a weight holder, you have a 300 kilogram front weight, a 500 kilogram front weight, a 700, a 1100, and that is your option. So yeah, most expensive one is the biggest. Fenders, you have no and yes, so those add the front fenders on, or both. Now that's interesting. Yes, so you've got no front fender and both, and then just back fender. I kind of like how that goes through there. I think the most expensive one yet is to have both fenders on, which looks quite cool. I quite like that. Protection grid, yes, you can put that on the front as well. I would say I have had a front loader on this, and we'll come to the front loader setup in a moment. But putting a front loader on does clip this front protection grid. So if you are looking to have a front loader on here, probably not worth putting this configuration on. Engine setup, 7210R, 7230R, 7250R, and 7270R, and a 7290R. 7310R. There's a lot of configurations on this. Yeah, so 7310R, that is your top configuration for this. That takes you up to 352 horsepower. I don't think it changes. Yeah, no change in the amount of fuel required, but 352 horsepower is the maximum horsepower on this tractor. Front loader attacher, as I mentioned, that can come on here. These 2 together I probably wouldn't do, as I said. You've got the Starfire 6000 receiver, yes and no. So that's the GPS. Doesn't actually activate GPS on this, but if you do have GPS, it's probably worth adding that configuration into this. Wheel setup, 30-inch 480 80R50 wheels with the weights. Then the jewels on those as well, and then the jewels with weights, and then the jewels all the way round, and the jewels with weights. And I think that is our full configuration. So this being an American tractor, I actually quite like it, this sort of setup with the jewels. I think it looks a much nicer tractor. That adds a little bit of width to it, because otherwise it feels a little bit thin. You then have the 100 years celebration tabs, so you can see right at the back at the top here. This happens on this rear bit here. You can see it has the Waterloo since 1919 and 100 years on the back there. I don't think it adds anywhere else. So maybe is there's a 100 years tag at that point there on the bonnet as well. So, yeah, lots of configuration options there. And finally, beacon light, you've got no, left, right, and both. So, going for the maximum cost on everything, maximum upgrades, your 238,000 increases by 59,116 to 297,116 for this. So, yeah. It's nearly a £3,000 pound or dollar or euro, whichever currency you're using, tractor. But I do quite like it fully kitted out like this. That is quite a nice tractor. Then next up we have this. This is the Amazon D930 seeder. Now I thought we had something similar to this. I know I've had a D940 seeder in one of my games. So to me this is a bit of a repeat mod. So yeah, understandably you will find this under seeders. So I need to investigate and see if there is one of these in game already. But 50 horsepower requirement, 600 litre capacity, 3 metre working width, 9 mile an hour working speed, an MKE 300. I'm guessing that's maybe a subsoiler or a power harrow or something that you can put on the front of that. Not quite sure what that is. Takes only seeds and will seed wheat, barley, oats, canola, soybeans, oilseed radish and grass. And if we have a look in here, we've got a few little configurations on it. So 8,500 is your base price for this. Rim color can be orange or grey. You can add disc markers to it. You can change your wheel setup. It's got just alternative wheels. And then you've got a tram line marker on this as well. So this is the first one of these I've seen with tram lines, interestingly enough. I don't believe the other version that I've seen of this has that. So that's pretty cool. All these upgrades will cost you 2,200 onto your base price of 8,500, taking you up to 10,700. Yeah, nice little seed of that. But I do think we have one very similar to it already as a mod in the game. Next up, we have this. So this is the Deutz-Fahr SWAT Master 3521. I think there's a variant of this in the shop as well. So this, of course, is in Windrowers. It is right at the end here. And if we bring this up, that's what it looks like unfurled. So you have a choice of two colours. You've got the standard green or you have it in the red as well. No change in price for that. And then your design colour, you have either a grey or a black. So that looks quite snazzy in the red and the black. Really quite like that. I'm not a huge fan of these single row ones, but that's quite nice. Single axis design or double axis design. So I think that's axis or axle design. But anyway, it's double axis design, it says. And then the design is Deutz or Vicon. So this is why we have the red options on here. It's a Vicon Andex 353 is the alternate version of this. The only thing that costs the extra money on that is the double axis. That takes your 2,500 up by 250 to 2,750. Really nice that. Yeah, nice little single row. That's quite a nice mod, that. Then we come on to the PC only mod that is released here. This is the Major Holland Fred 2-3. You will find this in the shop under baling technology. Now, it took me a little while to find it. And the reason this is listed under baling technology is because the only customization option on it is front loader, telehandler, or wheel loader. So it doesn't quite fit in any of those categories. If we look out here, there's no extra information. So yeah, no extra cost for that, for any of those. So very simple mod. This does have claws. You can see that this has got claws. Those will go in and grab a bale, which is quite a nice little function of this. So you're less likely to have your bales fly off the front. I believe it will take a stack of 2 and can be increased. You can see the height can be increased on these bars. It's not a function in here. It's something that you can do while using the mod, which is really quite nice. Price of this is 3,300, which is great for a little bale spike like that. I really quite like that. That's very good. And then finally, what we have is we have the map. So this is a real map based in Poland. Awful lot of fields. Very, very square set. Sort of square, but not fields on this. So this is an interesting looking map. If you want to check this out, it is a map based on 3 real villages in Poland. Has 5 farms and lots of purchase points and everything like that. If you want me to do a quick map review or a map tour of this, let me know in the comments, and we'll see what you guys think. But yeah, interesting looking Polish map, this one. So that is it for this mod roundup for today. All that remains is for me to say thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this roundup. Please give it a like, drop us a comment and give it a share. And for all the latest videos and live streams from Virtual Farmer, please subscribe to the channel and ring that bell. And I will see you next time. Goodbye.